Borno State, as well as families of victims affected by the incident.
Debate has continued to trail moves to criminalize dual party registration in Nigeria, with stakeholders expressing mixed reactions over its potential impact on the nation's political system. Featuring ambitious current affairs Yoruba program Kutuhai, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Musibao Adetumbi, and a politician, Sheon Adelori, described the proposed step as a welcome development. Staff reporter Adebayo Abdulrafi monitored the program and finds in the details.
Apologies, we'll bring that during the course of this bulletin. Operatives of the Department of State Services have arrested the suspected gun runner, Kelvin Dugo, in Cross River State while allegedly attempting to take delivery of hundreds of rounds of ammunition. The suspect was arrested at Ivara-Isu Estate in Udukpani local government area of the state, following credible intelligence about his plan to procure 832 rounds of live ammunition. According to a statement today, the ammunition was allegedly supplied by another suspected gun runner identified as Azenda Barnabas, also known as Jagaban, who is said to be based in Aliade, Benue State. The source said that the arrest was part of ongoing operations by the DSS to combat the proliferation of illegal arms and dismantle gun-running networks across the country. The arrest comes amid heightened efforts by security agencies to curb the proliferation of illegal arms and ammunition across the country, which has been linked to rising cases of banditry, kidnapping, and communal violence.
The federal government has declared Thursday, March 19 and Friday, March 20, 2026 as public holidays to mark the celebration of Eid al-Fitr, which signifies the end of Muslim holy month of Ramadan. The declaration was made by the Minister of Interior, Oluwole Ojo, on behalf of the federal government. In a statement today by the Permanent Secretary of the Ministry, Magdalene Ajane, the Minister extended warm greetings and heartfelt congratulations to Muslim faithfuls on the successful completion of the fasting period. Tunji Ojo urged Muslims to sustain the virtues of love, generosity, peace, tolerance, and sacrifice, which were emphasized during the holy month of Ramadan. He also called on Nigerians to use the festive period to pray for the continued peace, unity, and prosperity of the country.
The Sultan of Sokoto, Mohammed Abubakar, has urged Muslims across Nigeria to begin the search for the crescent moon that would mark the end of the holy month of Ramadan and signal the beginning of Shawwal. The call was contained in a statement issued today by the Sultanate Council of Sokoto and signed by the Waziri Sokoto and Chairman of the Advisory Committee on Religious Affairs, Sambo Junaidu. According to the statement, Wednesday, March 18, 2026, corresponding to the 29th day of Ramadan, 1447 AH, has been set aside for the sighting of the new moon of Shawwal. It added that any Muslim who sights the crescent should report the sighting to the nearest district or village head for onward communication to the Sultanate Council for confirmation. The sighting of the Shawwal crescent signals the end of the month-long Ramadan fast and heralds the celebration of Eid al-Fitr by Muslims worldwide. Debate has continued to trail moves to criminalize dual party registration in Nigeria,
with stakeholders expressing mixed reactions over its potential impact on the nation's political system. Featuring on BCOS Current Affairs Yoruba program Kutukai, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Musibao Adetumbi, and a politician, Seun Adelore, described the proposed step as a welcome development. Staff reporter Adebayo Abdurafi monitored the program and files in the details.
The Nigeria's lower legislative chamber, the House of Representatives, recently proposed an amendment into the nation's Electoral Act, criminalizing dual membership of political parties. Under the amendment, anyone found guilty of belonging to multiple political parties simultaneously could face a fine of 10 million naira, a maximum prison term of 3 years, or both. The proposed amendment introduces 3 new subsections to Section 77 of the Act, which deals with political party membership. The provision states that any individual discovered to be registered in more than one political party at the same time will have such memberships declared invalid. Speaking on BCOS Current Affairs program Kutuhai, a senior advocate of Nigeria, Musibao Adetumbi, described the proposed step as a welcome development, noting that it aligns with the principle that no individual can be loyal to 2 political parties at the same time. He stated that the move will ensure that people's conscience guides their political actions. However, the senior lawyer expressed concern that have failed to achieve desired results due to weak enforcement.
Right from the beginning of this democracy, that's as far back as 1999, we have in our constitution that if you are a member of either National Assembly, House of Representatives, or a State House of Assembly, you cannot cross to any political party without resigning your position, unless there's a sharp division in your political party. But all of us, we are living witnesses to the fact that without any division or whatever, people are crossing over to their political party without resigning their position, and nothing is going to happen, and nothing has been happening. So it's not about the law, it's about our sincerity of mind.
Adetumbi added that unlike in the past, when political parties were driven by clear ideologies, the current political landscape is characterized by a lack of ideological commitment, with politicians frequently switching allegiances. Also speaking, a politician, Seun Adelore, described the proposed penalty of 3 years imprisonment or a 10 million naira fine as excessive when compared to the nature of the offense. Despite his reservations, Adelore welcomed the initiative, saying it would discourage individuals from seeking political benefits from multiple parties and encourage greater commitment and conviction among party members.
It's better to be consistent and to stay with one party, because not everybody are in the political parties. Only few people are doing partisan politics. What about the generality of people? You understand, that will be, that will be stuck with the choice of those of us that are in politics. So, for integrity's sake, because of your future, because of the name, stay in one place. Let us know you with one party. I think it's a good one. That will streamline a lot of things.
Analysts say, while the move to criminalize dual party registration may promote discipline within political parties, its success will largely depend on effective implementation to enforce existing laws. Adebayo Abdurafi, BCOS News.
This broadcast of Newscope comes to you from the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State, Ibadan. There is a need for intensified efforts by the executive arm of government through the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Inclusion to evacuate destitute persons from major streets and other public places in Oyo State. The House made a call after considering a motion presented by Honorable Gabriel Adebayo, representing Ibadan North 2 constituency. BCOS reporter Olamipo Sishola, who covered the plenary, brings the details.
The plenary session of the Oyo State House of Assembly, under the leadership of the Speaker, Honorable Adebo Ogundoyin, began with the presentation of the report by the House Committee on Local Government, Chieftaincy Matters and State Honors, which examined the capital budget proposals for 2026 from all the 33 local government areas. The report presented by Honorable Aketude Olajide, Chairman of the committee, received unanimous adoption by the House.
The committee hereby recommends for the approval of the House as follows. That 1. Pursuant to section 1923 of the Local Government Law 2001 as amended, funds are specified in hereunder as capital expenditure be approved for the 33 local government in areas in the state. 2. The detailed breakdown of the approved capital expenditure be communicated to the various local government areas through the Committee on Local Government Chieftaincy Matters and State Government. 3. All chairmen of the local government are to present their subsequent current budget from their respective legislative council for the approval.
A motion titled "The Need for Intensified Efforts Towards Evacuating Destitute Individuals." Also, a motion titled "The Need for Intensified Efforts Toward Evacuating Destitute Individuals from Major Streets and Public Places in Oyo State" was presented by Honorable Babajide Adebayo, representing Ibadan North 2 constituency, urged the executive arm of government to act through the Ministry of Women Affairs and Social Inclusion. According to Honorable Adebayo, the state faces significant issues with destitute individuals occupying major streets, road medians, markets, and other public places, thereby constituting a public nuisance and environmental concerns.
Aware that government of Oyo State under the leadership of Its Excellency Dr. Shimakinde has demonstrated commitment of social welfare and human governance through several interventions aimed at improving the well-being of vulnerable citizens. Further aware that Oyo State government through the Ministry of Human Affairs and Social Inclusion frequently evacuates a number of diseases which include beggar, mentally ill people and street children from major streets in Ibadan and locate them to a government rehabilitation and resettlement center.
Some lawmakers voiced their apprehensions regarding the rising number of destitute individuals in the state. The House also considered a motion tabled by Honorable Sanjo Adedoyin, the House leader, regarding the imperative to swiftly address the issue of unlicensed foreign cashew buyers operating at farm gates in order to drive the cashew value chain towards inclusive growth and industrialization in Oyo State. The motion co-sponsored by Honorable Peter Ojedokun, Ibarapa North Central, Honorable Yasak Mobaje Ido, and Honorable Aketude Olajide Lagelu constituency urged the Oyo State Agribusiness Development Agency to proactively ban all unlicensed foreign nationals from purchasing raw cashew directly at farm gates in cashew producing communities across the state. The House has adjourned its proceedings till next week Tuesday. Olamiposi Ishola, BCS News.
Oluyole Investment Company Limited, OICL, has announced the completion of its acquisition of a 10% minority equity stake in the issued share capital of FCMB Pensions Limited, a subsidiary of FCMB Group PLC. The acquisition follows the receipt of the requisite approvals from the regulatory authorities, the National Pension Commission (PENCOM) and the Central Bank of Nigeria (CBN). The Securities and Exchange Commission (SEC) has also been duly notified. The transaction represents a strategic investment by Oluyole in Nigeria's growing pension industry, a resilient and steadily expanding segment of the country's financial services sector. It also strengthens FCMB Pensions' shareholder base, bringing together two established institutions with complementary strengths and a shared commitment to long-term growth and value creation. The group chairman of Oluyole Investment Company Limited, Otuba Bimbo Ashiru, commented on the investment, said He said the investment reflects Odua's strategy of partnering with strong institutions operating in sectors that are central to Nigeria's long-term economic stability and growth. In his remark, the Group Managing Director of Odua Investment Company Limited, Mr. Abdurrahman Yunusa, said the partnership with FCMB Group PLC reflects confidence in FCMB's pension strategy, leadership, and long-term potential, adding that together the duo will expand its reach, support its strategic objectives, and deliver sustained value to contributors and other stakeholders. Odua Investment Company Limited is a leading investment holding company jointly owned by the governments of the 6 southwest states of Nigeria. The company manages a diversified portfolio across real estate, financial services, hospitality, agriculture, and industrial investments, which with a mandate to generate sustainable economic value and support regional development.
The president of City Changers Global and general overseer of Christ United Ministries International, Houston, Texas, Apostle Matthew Oluyole, has called on leaders and founders of churches to support government efforts in addressing societal challenges, noting that government alone cannot shoulder the responsibility. He made the appeal during a medical outreach organized by City Changers Global at Glory Tabernacle Ministry in Ojuri, Bodija, Ibadan. BCOS reporter Fidora Folagboye reports.
City Changers Global, a Christian outreach organization founded by Apostle Matthew Oluyole, is widely known for organizing large-scale evangelistic and humanitarian initiatives aimed at transforming lives and communities. Over the years, the ministry has carried out several medical missions, charity programs, and gospel outreaches across Nigeria and other parts of the world. At the Ibadan outreach, residents benefited from a comprehensive range of free healthcare services, including eye care, pharmacy services, vital sign checks, and laboratory tests, as medical professionals attended to various health needs. Speaking at the event, Apostle Dr. Matthew Oluyole explained that the initiative was inspired about 15 years ago after learning that 2 people died because they could not afford medical treatment. He, however, noted that suffering in society today is not only caused by hunger, but also by health challenges. Apostle Oluyole therefore urged well-meaning individuals to see service to humanity as service to God, stressing that those blessed with wealth should regard it as a favor from God and use it to assist the less privileged. The Vice President of City Changers Global, Pastor Covenant Oluyole, described the outreach as fulfilling, adding that despite the impact already made, there is still much work to be done, while expressing hope that God will grant the organization greater capacity to reach more people.
If you're a Christian, you will understand that our Lord Jesus Christ fed those that he even gave the word of life to. And if he fed them with real food, there's nothing bad in taking care of people's needs.
It's great, but it also feels like there's a lot more to do. Like I keep saying, this is a drop in the ocean, but we're trusting God and we're thanking God for the grace to even be able to do this. We're trusting God for enlargement of capacity, that we're able to reach out even to more people.
The Director of Medical Outreach at City Changers Global, Pastor Sheni Shokumbi, said the turnout was impressive, noting that over 2,000 people benefited from the outreach with the support of partner hospitals and members of the community. Also speaking, the Director of Global Network and Outreach Coordinator of the organization, Reverend Francis Adeshola, explained that arrangements have been made for beneficiaries requiring surgical procedures to be referred to partner hospitals with their medical bills covered by the organization.
Turnout has been fantastic, glory be to God. Yesterday we filled over 2,000 prescriptions of different types, and then eyeglasses for over 500 people. We're expecting some more today, so our goal is to do 2,000 eye checks.
For example, somebody who has hernia problem, that require a lot of money, and because you can't do surgery on the spot air, such a person has been referred to one of the hospitals.
One of the beneficiaries expressed gratitude to the organizers, saying that despite the services being free, patients were treated with professionalism and care.
I've been feeling some pains for some days now, but all thanks to City Changer for the program. And you know, it's a free treatment.
The outreach also featured the distribution of food items to residents, leaving a significant impact on the community and reinforcing City Changes Global's commitment to holistic care and service to humanity. Fedora Afolagwe, PCOS News.
On the foreign scene, the director of the U.S. National Counterterrorism Center, Joe Kent, has resigned from his position, citing his opposition to President Donald Trump's war in Iran. Kent announced his decision today, stating that he could no longer support the administration's position on the conflict. In a statement shared on social media, Kent argued that the basis for the conflict was unjustified. Kent was confirmed to the role in July by a 52 to 44 Senate vote, led the National Counterterrorism Center, the body responsible for analyzing and identifying terrorist threats to the United States. His resignation marks a significant shakeup within the administration's national security leadership, coming amid ongoing tensions over U.S. policy towards Iran.
To end this edition of Newscope, here again are the main points. The People's Democratic Party